What's up, Ravens fans? It's time to hear from you guys in this week's Ravens Mailbag. There's only one preseason game left, and we're going to be playing the games that really count before we know it. So lots of questions.
I can't wait.
I know. I can't wait for that. Roster cut down is this week, so lots of questions about that. Let's kick it off with this question from Gregory, who wants to know, who, in your view, has been the most consistent pass rusher throughout training camp and the preseason?
I'd probably point to Matthew Judon. He was all over the field against the Packers in the second preseason game. Really impressive. But, you know, he's a starter. He hasn't been getting a ton of reps. Outside of him, there's not one guy that I point to and say, oh, yeah, he's been lighting it up. I thought Tyus Bowser looked pretty good in Philadelphia, kind of emerged a little bit, which we've been waiting to see from him. Tim Williams has flashed at points. You know, Pernell McPhee, I think, has been good over the totality of training camp and whatnot. Not a huge sack production guy or whatnot, but I think that's kind of a reflection of what the Ravens' pass rush is going to be this year. I don't know that there's going to be two lead dogs who are in double-digit sacks. I expect there's going to be a lot of guys outside of Judon, who I think could have a breakout season and be a double-digits kind of player. Outside of him, I think it's going to be a lot of 3, 4, 5 sack guys.
Yeah.
And pretty widespread production. Just because Wink Martindale's going to keep defenses guessing, and there's not another bona fide true, getting after it kind of pass rusher that could develop over the course of the season. But right now, as I see it, I think it's more collection-based.
Yeah, I mean, the question has kind of been who's going to be that starter outside of Matthew Judon. I think right now it certainly looks like Pernell McPhee would be that
He's
week
the
one
starter. But I don't know that McPhee's going to be a double-digit sack.
No, I
guy
don't think
this
that. I don't think that's the case. But I think those are going to be probably the two starters,
Yeah.
and then it'll be a collection. All right, let's keep it moving. This question comes from us on Twitter. The question here is: Chris Moore on the hot seat for losing playing time to rookie Miles Boykin? Well, I would kind of flip the narrative a little bit. I think Miles Boykin has put himself into the conversation of being in the starting lineup. I don't think that's really a reflection of Chris as much as it's a reflection of Miles Boykin. He's shown some great promise. He needs to get more consistent with catching the football. He has had some drops in the preseason. He talked about that being something that he needs to clean up. I think of Chris Moore as a 3-4 guy in this rotation at wide receiver. I mean, the top guy, Willie Snead, is your proven veteran as a slot receiver. Hollywood finally got on the field, and I think everyone's excited to see what he can do. Miles Boykin, though, could absolutely be in the starting lineup week one. It would not surprise me if they go out there too wide, and it's Willie Snead and Miles Boykin.
Yep.
And I think the Ravens know what they have in Chris Moore. He's a guy that can make some tough catches in big moments. He's done that throughout his career. But I think that Boykin is somebody who has tremendous upside. I mean, we saw it on that play in Philly.
For sure.
He's got major upside, and the Ravens want to get him on the field.
I think the Ravens want to play the rookies, and Chris Moore is a good player. Whether Chris is a 3, a 4, I mean, Seth Roberts put him in there. I don't think it really matters assigning all those numbers to guys, but I will say I think the Ravens want to get the rookies some reps. Last question comes from @BisMom12, and the question is, which undrafted players do you see making the team? You know,
Does the streak stay intact?
this could be the year that it doesn't. I think probably the best chance at keeping the 15-year streak intact would be, to me, Patrick McCarry, the offensive lineman, who has a little versatility. He can play guard, he can play tackle if need be. To me, with the left guard situation so unsettled, McCarry could be a project kind of that they keep on the roster to kind of work and see if maybe he can develop into that guy, you know, alongside Ben Powers and whatnot. Maybe. They've been impressed with McCarry. If I'm looking at some other players, I think the inside linebacker, Otero Alaco, has really flashed late in the preseason. And we all know the Ravens' history with inside linebackers who are undrafted. So he could sneak onto this roster. I think Gerald Willis and Antoine Wesley were two players that we pointed to early in training camp as good chances. To me, I think they're looking more like practice squad players right now. So, yeah, keep an eye on those two guys.
Yeah, roster spots are hard to come by on this team. I would not be surprised if that streak ends this year.
It wouldn't shock me.
Would not shock me. But all that's going to be coming out over the course of the next few days. And if you want to make your prediction on who's going to be on that 53-man roster, make sure you enter our You Pick the Team contest. You could win lunch in this building with GM Eric DaCosta.
That's pretty sweet.
Pretty sweet prize. So go ahead.
Food's good here. Tell me.
Get it done by visiting BaltimoreRavens.com/YouPickTheTeam. That's it for us. Thanks for watching.